Hello and welcome to the Abkhaz World Podcast. I'm your host, Matt. Grab a coffee, settle in, because today we're going on a journey to a place that will challenge much of what you might think about religion, identity, and tradition. I want you to close your eyes for a moment and picture this. You're standing under a 300-year-old linden tree in the foothills of the Caucasus Mountains. You're in a place called Abkhazia, a tiny ancient land on the coast of the Black Sea. Hundreds of people are gathered. They're not in a church or a mosque. The air smells of wood smoke and ritual wine. A respected elder, a priest, is holding the heart of a freshly sacrificed bull, skewered on a wooden stick, and he's praying, not to Christ, not to Allah, but to the Almighty Creator, Anchwa, pronounced Answa. Now, here's the fascinating part. The late, great Abkhaz historian Stanislav Lakoba, a brilliant mind who we were so sorry to lose just last month, once perfectly captured this reality. He famously quipped that the Abkhaz are 80% Christian, 20% Muslim, and 100% pagan. It sounds like a mathematical impossibility, doesn't it? But for the Abkhazians, it's a profound truth. It's the secret to their cultural resilience and their remarkable religious tolerance. Today, we're peeling back the layers of this extraordinary belief system. We're going to explore the ancient, living world of Abkhazian paganism, discover how it absorbed and reshaped Christianity and Islam, and see how these practices are still very much alive today. Ready? Let's go! To understand the Abkhazian soul, you have to go back to the beginning, to the mountains, the forests, and the sea. This is a religion rooted in nature, where every element has a spirit, and where the divine is not distant, but intimately present. At the very top of the Pantheon is the supreme, all-creating God, Anchwa. The name itself is a linguistic gem. The root, un, means mother, and chwa is a plural suffix, so the name for the supreme being literally translates to the mothers. This suggests a deep, ancient matriarchal root to their belief system, where the ultimate creator was conceived of as a collective, nurturing female force. Below Anchwa is a vibrant pantheon of gods and goddesses, each responsible for a specific domain of life. Let me bring a few to life for you. First, there's Ajwebshah, the god of the forest and the hunt. A hunter can only succeed with his permission. And this comes with a fascinating mythological twist. The Abkhaz believe that if a hunter stumbles upon Ajwebshah's home, the gods might slaughter a deer for a feast. Afterwards, they carefully collect every bone, wrap them in the hide, and with a magical touch, bring the animal back to life. The next day, if the hunter shoots that very same deer, he knows he has the god's blessing. This reverence is so deep that hunters developed a secret language, the Ebna Bizshea, or forest tongue, using poetic phrases instead of direct names for animals. A bear might be the one with paws as big as a cliff. Next, let's go to the forge. For the Abkhaz, the smithy, or azura, is a place of immense power, often considered more sacred than a church. The god of the smithy is Shashwi, a mighty, sevenfold deity. Blacksmiths were not just artisans. They were seen as semi-divine figures, masters of fire and metal. The anvil itself is a sacred object, and an oath sworn upon it is unbreakable. And finally, there is Afi, the god of thunder and lightning. In many cultures, being struck by lightning is a sign of wrath. In Abkhazia, it's a sign of divine favor. The ritual for a lightning victim, called chopa, is remarkable. A special platform, an asham cat, is built, and the victim is placed upon it. The entire village gathers, dressed in white, and here's the key part: no one is allowed to weep. Instead, they dance, make merry, and sing a song to Afi, celebrating the person who has been touched by the divine. These gods weren't worshipped in temples built by humans. Their sanctuaries, the anicha, are sacred groves, mountaintops, and springs. Each family clan has its own sacred place, a focus for their spiritual life. So, how did this ancient paganism survive the arrival of the world's two largest monotheistic religions? That's where the story of Abkhazian syncretism really gets interesting. Christianity arrived very early, in the 4th century, and Islam much later, around the 15th century. Both were officially adopted by the ruling classes at various times, but neither of them, as many historians note, truly stuck in a traditional theological sense. The reasons were often practical. Christian priests preached in Greek or Georgian, languages the common people didn't understand, making the ideology inaccessible. Islam, with its strict rules on diet and ritual, didn't always mesh with the traditional Abkhazian lifestyle. What happened instead was a masterclass in cultural absorption. The Abkhaz simply incorporated the new religions into their existing framework. They took the new figures and assigned them roles within their own divine caste. The most powerful example is the transformation of Christian saints. St. George, the dragon slayer, was seamlessly blended with Azhirga, a local deity of war and protection. The Virgin Mary was associated with Ananagunda, the goddess of bees and fertility. It was a perfect compromise. The new figures were welcomed, but on local terms. This syncretism is perhaps best illustrated in two areas: tolerance and ritual. Because Abkhazian identity, or Apswara, transcends religious labels, there is virtually no religious conflict. It's not uncommon to find Christians and Muslims in the same family living in total harmony. There have even been recorded instances of a funeral being performed with both Muslim and Christian rites, based on the pragmatic logic, if Allah cannot be of help, then perhaps Christ can. A toast might be raised with wine, and a little is poured on the grave, covering all spiritual bases. The two new religions became, in essence, just two more layers of paint on a very old, very strong foundation. What's truly remarkable is that these practices aren't just historical footnotes. They are living, breathing parts of modern Abkhazian life. Let's look at one of the most important annual ceremonies, the Azhir Ninwa. This is the Abkhazian New Year, celebrated on the night of January 13th to 14th. The name itself means renewal, or creation of the world. The entire ceremony is governed by the moon, not the sun. Sacrifices and preparations happen in the evening, and the prayer must be completed under moonlight and be completed before the moon sets. It's a powerful, direct connection to the ancient lunar calendar. The family gathers at their hearth or sacred smithy to pray for health, fertility, and a good year. And the priests are not state-appointed officials. They are elders chosen by the community, often from specific families. Their ordination is a powerful ritual. Take the case of Ruslan Berezek. When he was ordained priest for the Bitka shrine, the ceremony involved a bull sacrifice. The officiating priest prayed while holding the bull's heart on a ritual stick before encircling Ruslan's head with a lighted candle. This isn't a reenactment. This is a living tradition. Now let's bring those statistics to life. Imagine a village of 100 people. A 2003 survey suggests that 60 of them would tell you they are Christian. But on Easter, maybe only 5 might actually go to church. But when the family shrine ceremony comes around, that number could jump to 80. This tells you everything. The official label is often a historical layer. The traditional practice is the true heart of their faith. This brings us to the most poignant lesson Abkhazia can offer: the secret of tolerance. How did a small nation, caught between great religious forces, avoid the conflict that has plagued so many other regions?
The answer lies in the concept of Apswara. Abkhazian etiquette, this term meaning Abkhazianness, is the unwritten code of morality, etiquette, and honor that is the core of our identity. Being a good Abkhazian, showing respect, honoring elders, and being connected to the land is far more important than any specific religious label. This ancient faith of ours is gaining modern recognition. In 2012, the Council of Priests was officially formed, representing the 7 great national shrines, or Abjnaka, 7 shrines. It is now a state-recognized religion, an acknowledgement that this pagan faith is a vital part of the nation's identity. Even during the brutal Georgian-Abkhazian conflict of the early 1990s, when religion was sometimes used as a political tool, it never became the true dividing line. Abkhaz Christians and Muslims fought side by side, united by their shared culture and identity, their Apswara. The Abkhazian story is a powerful reflection on what it means to be a modern person anchored in an ancient world. When we look at the living remnants of our faith, the prayer ribbons tied to sacred oak trees, the family gatherings at the moonlit smithy, the quiet respect for the forest gods, we see a profound cultural resilience. We didn't fight the new religions. We simply digested them, integrating them into a system that was stronger, older, and more deeply rooted in the land. We have shown that syncretism isn't confusion. It's a kind of wisdom. It's the ability to say, I will take what is good from the new, but I will not forget the source of my strength. Perhaps we, the Abkhazians, have remembered something that the modern, often divided, dogmatic world has forgotten. That the ultimate faith is not found in a book or a building, but in the enduring spirit of your people, in the sacredness of the earth beneath your feet, and in the simple, profound idea that the source of all creation is and always will be the mothers.